An efficient and effective state government is one of New Hampshire's great economic advantages. New Hampshire has one of the lowest tax burdens in the nation and the fourth lowest government spending per capita. In the past year, together we've made tough choices to respond to the recession's impact on the state budget. To keep taxes low, we cut spending in nearly every state agency. We closed a prison and closed courthouses. We took the very hard steps necessary to reduce personnel costs. We took those steps so that we could meet our core responsibilities to preserve public safety, to protect our most vulnerable citizens, and to fund education. And I want to take a moment to thank New Hampshire's department heads. They are an extraordinary group of individuals willing to take a new look at old practices, to work across department lines, who are always putting service to the people of New Hampshire first. Many of the department heads are seated in the gallery, and I ask that we ask them to stand so we can take a moment to thank them for their hard work. Their work, our work, did not end when the budget passed last June. We continue to make state government more efficient and put spending at every state agency under a microscope. Focusing on its delivery system, the Department of Health and Human Services is transforming the way it does business to provide better, more coordinated, and more cost-efficient services. We're developing a pilot program to better manage the use of state cars. And we put driver's license renewals online to control costs and improve customer service. We launched a new financial accounting system that makes it possible to look at spending across agencies and across state government. Increased transparency improves our ability to make good decisions. And this spring, we expect to have New Hampshire's first monthly spending report online and available for review by every citizen in our state. This year, we actually reduced corrections costs, long one of the state's fastest growing expenses. We did it by rethinking our corrections system, redirecting our resources so that we could close a costly and inadequate prison. Let's be clear. Violent felons belong behind bars for their full sentences. And some people belong in prison and will stay in prison for the rest of their lives. But most inmates complete their sentences and return to their communities. Unfortunately, more than half re-enter New Hampshire's prisons within 3 years, costing taxpayers millions of dollars. This fall, we joined together to ask the Justice Reinvestment Center for concrete ideas to reduce recidivism. They'll make their first set of recommendations next week. Their proposals will involve more focused supervision of high-risk offenders, applying swift and certain sanction for probation violators, and reinvesting in treatment programs. We should move forward with those ideas that are right for New Hampshire. Instead of spending money on increasing prison capacity, we should keep people from returning to prison. We can cut costs for taxpayers, and we will keep New Hampshire one of the safest states in the nation. Efforts like these to make state government even more efficient are critical, because in spite of the tough choices we've made in the past 2 years, and in spite of the improving economy, we still face budget challenges. Traditionally, state revenues recover after the economy does, and increased demand for state services continues even after the economists say a recession has ended. We budgeted responsibly, but the recovery of state revenues is still lagging. And this year, the number of people needing assistance from the Department of Health and Human Services has grown by nearly 20,000. That need, driven primarily by the increase in unemployment, has vastly outpaced the department's budget. We must manage the budget to address both of these challenges, and there are difficult decisions ahead of us, including budget reductions. But those decisions are necessary, and I ask for your cooperation and your best ideas so that we can respond to economic conditions and continue to protect essential services. In 2009, the worst year of the recession, we balanced the budget. And we will do the same this year. As we address immediate budget concerns, we must also continue our work on the long-term budget challenges facing our state. In the past several years, together, we've tackled big and long neglected issues, from retirement to education funding to the highway fund. On each of these issues, we've taken significant steps forward, but we have a continued responsibility to act, and we must work this year to develop solutions that can be put in place as part of the next budget. We have acted to stabilize the state's retirement system. Accounting gimmicks and short-sighted decisions by policymakers in the past paved the way for nearly 3 decades of underfunding of that system. And today we see the consequences, with unsustainable rate increases for our state and for our communities. Together, we've taken major steps to reform the system: strong leadership, sound accounting, better fund management. But there is no silver bullet to undo years of neglect. We must continue strengthening our retirement system to ensure security for our public employees and affordability for our taxpayers.